Psychology of an investor. I always like to use this story to explain the psychology of investor, and I call this story the toilet roll story. Okay, this is how the story goes, right? Now, assuming there is a certain brand of toilet roll, let's call it Big Roll, and a pack of Big Roll toilet roll costs 12 ringgit. Usually, when you go to do your marketing, you'll buy a pack of Big Roll, and a pack of Big Roll can last you maybe 1 or 2 months. Now, assuming there is a certain sales going on, and they're selling Big Roll toilet roll for 10 ringgit a pack. Now, ask yourself this question: what would your reaction be? I think rationally and logically, you actually go and buy maybe 2 packs, or you buy 3 packs of it. This is something you're very familiar with, and this is something that you use, and it can last. It's not perishable. Now, 2 weeks later, there's another mega sales, or we call it a stock clearance, where Big Roll is selling for 6 ringgit per pack. Now again, rationally, you even buy even more. Maybe this time you buy maybe 5 packs of it, or even 6 packs of it, or as many as the mall will allow you to buy. Now, continuing the story, 1 week later, after that, they just realized nationwide Big Roll toilet roll is out of stocks. And now suddenly the price of Big Roll is 13 ringgit per pack. Now, you ask yourself, would you then go and buy toilet roll, or buy Big Roll toilet roll? I think the answer is no. In fact, my common joke is that if it's selling at 13 ringgit, I think you can actually sell your stocks that you've collected. You can actually put a store outside the mall and sell whatever you have bought at maybe 10 or 12 ringgit and make a good profit out of it. Okay, so the above scenario is very common and something very logical as a consumer. Now, the interesting part is, what if we start to change the name of that product? We don't call it Big Roll toilet roll. We call it Maybank and Maybank shares. Okay, now, assuming you start to invest in Maybank when the price is 12 ringgit, you bought the shares 12 ringgit. 1 week later, the share price of Maybank dropped to 10 ringgit. I ask you back the same question. What would your reaction be? Will you start to invest, buy more into Maybank, or will you be in a panic mode? You're in a panic mode and you start to call your friends, your reminders, your brokers, your neighbors, or anybody that you know to ask what is happening to Maybank. And asking around, there's no answer, nobody seems to know what happened. So your panic mode has already started. Now, 2 weeks down the road, Maybank shares continue to fall and end up at 6 ringgit. So I'm quite sure at that point in time, you no longer want to know what happened. The first thing you will want to do is sell the share. So you decided, okay, I don't want to know anything anymore. I don't know what happened. I just want to sell. And you sold at 6 ringgit. And you feel good after selling. Why? Because you no longer have sleepless nights. You can actually save it. Although make a loss, but somehow you feel happy about it. 1 week later, when market realized actually there's nothing wrong with Maybank, and the Maybank share price went up to 13 ringgit. And quite sure most of you will be jumping in at 13 ringgit. So you can see that is actually the psychology of investors. The common mantra about investing in stock market is buy low, sell high. That mantra is very easy to say, but it's not very easy to do. Most of the time when you invest in the stock market, the psychology is very similar to buying something you're very familiar with. The caveat is something you're very familiar with. So when you're buying something you're very familiar with, when the price goes cheaper, you buy it more. When the price becomes expensive, you stop buying. But somehow when it comes to stock market, you find that our brain is wired differently. When the things are cheap, we are very fearful to buy, although we know the company very well. But when the things become very expensive, we like to jump into it and actually hoping that the price will go even higher after we jump into it. So, the biggest enemy for investor is their own mind.